The Dallas Cowboys secure their first road victory of the 2025 season, 37-22 in dominant fashion over the New York Jets. They get their first win against the Jets on the road since 2003, and we welcome you to the First Word presented by Dr. Pepper. It's a Pepper thing, and we've got Barry Church, Isaiah Stanback, Nate Newton. I'm Kyle Yeomans to break it all down for you. This was by far the best all-around performance that the Cowboys have put together under Brian Schottenheimer. And with a long list of names they had to deal without, I think credit is due for this coaching staff, for the preparation coming off in a highly emotional game in Week 4 against Green Bay, and then putting up the result that they did. No matter who was on the opposite sideline, the Cowboys took care of their job today.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, this was a great team win for the Dallas Cowboys. All three phases showed up and showed out. Offensively, you had guys stepping up from all over the place. Flanoy went out there and had a heck of a game himself. George Pickens, once again, putting two games back-to-back together where he's shown out and got into the end zone. And once again, Dak Prescott, I mean, what more can you say about quarterback number one for the Dallas Cowboys? I mean, this guy is efficient. He seems cool, calm, and collected. And the marriage between him and Schottenheimer, when it comes to play calling, it's at an all-time high right now. His production is at an all-time high right now. And you look defensively. I mean, we finally got a pass rush out of this defensive line. Fowler was out there showing out. Houston as well. Those guys were young and hungry today. They went after the football, caused a couple turnovers. The linebackers from those young guys, Shamar James, Morris Leopold, they were flying all over the place. In the secondary, they communicated well. So overall, for me, this was a great team win.
A lot of positives, man. Got to love everything about this game today. Obviously, the competitor that you were going against necessarily wasn't of high grade, but it's who was on the schedule. So that's what you had to take care of, which was what was in front of you. Defensively, it was great to see from Matt Eberflus exactly his young bulls, putting the young fellas out there and letting them have an opportunity. We heard so much about a fair and even and equal competition through training camp. To see these young players have an opportunity, Shamar James, Morris Leopold, Wanye Thomas, Marquise Bell showing back up. The defense looked different. These guys were faster. Houston on the front line, it looked different. So those guys were able to get pressure and get 5 sacks on one of the most mobile quarterbacks in the game. Offensively, Dak still doing Dak things. We had questions about this offensive line missing 4 of their 5 starters. Well, guess what? Javonte Williams still did his thing because the O-line did their thing. So a lot of really positive things going forward. I can't believe Brandon Aubrey missed the extra point. I mean, honestly, really?
Randy got a penalty flag on
the kickoff. What the heck,
man, what's going on, man?
Bad day at the office for Brandon Aubrey.
There ain't much I can add to that, man, but Javonte Williams, 35 yards, 8.4 average. Let me make sure I'm right, 8.4 average. Just a great game, man. But I want to say hats off to James Houston, 1.5 sacks. Sam Williams got his first sack.
Kenny Clark.
Devontae Fowler got his sack, and Kenny Clark got a half sack. So our defense, the pressure was up front, so that helped that young secondary. With the injuries.
Let's talk a little bit about the defense, because a lot of the emphasis had been on the big play, not allowing the big play in the secondary. And the debate throughout the last few weeks among Cowboys fans has been, is it a problem in the secondary or is it a problem with the pass rush? I think we saw today, if the pass rush gets home, Isaiah, the secondary is able to do their job better.
Yeah, it's a give and take, right? It's a relationship that requires both parties to take care of their business. But overall, the pass rush was getting there. These guys took care of business at the front line, but I did like to see, again, I'll bring it up, the young fellas on the back end. They weren't allowing the receivers to get behind them. That's been the issue for the past few weeks. The safeties have been getting a little bit too nosy. Not necessarily the case today. Guys were being where they were supposed to be. Corners were being a little bit more aggressive, and guys were flying around and hitting people. When you can get that combination along with a pass rush, it's going to be a problem. I don't care if it's Justin Fields and Garrett Wilson or if it's doggone whoever else that's going to show up on the schedule. They didn't have a lot of weapons for the Jets, and that's what I'm saying. You're happy with the result, but you have to understand that this is not what you faced in the past. But ultimately, that's a heck of a start today.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, rush and cover, they work together. I mean, anytime I was on a good defense, we always had that front four that was able to get after the quarterback. And you saw that today with Dante Fowler, James Houston, and the crew. They made things hard for Fields back there as far as sitting in the pocket, trying to dissect, go through his progressions. And that allowed these corners to be aggressive. That allowed these secondary players to communicate as a whole and kind of reel in those explosive plays. The tackling was so much better this afternoon than what we've seen in the past. You saw Deron Bland out there dump trucking people out there at the cornerback position. I mean, hats goes off to you, young man, but the communication overall in the secondary was way better, especially with that pass rush. It was a marriage made in heaven once again.
Jamar James, Lewis, Marify. These guys played well. They did what they had to do. And that tackling, I think they was probably 50% on third down, whereas last week they was up towards 75, 80%. That makes a difference. Barry, you're right. When you tackle as a team and you tackle well, no matter who you're playing, you should be competitive in the game.
On the offensive side, no CeeDee Lamb, no Tyler Smith, no Tyler Booker, no Tyler Guyton, no Cooper Beebe, no Cavante Turpin, no Miles Sanders, no problem. It was a balanced attack from the offense. Give credit to the play callers. Give credit to the way that Dak Prescott was able to run, and for the guys like Ryan Flournoy and a number of other guys, Jake
Take
Ferguson,
advantage of opportunities.
Take advantage of those opportunities. Barry, when you looked at this offense and the way that they played, in the absence of 4 of their 5 starting offensive linemen, how impressed were you throughout the afternoon?
I was unbelievably impressed with this offensive line. I mean, just look at this number right here for Javonte Williams, averaging 8.4 yards per carry. I mean, that's unbelievable when you talk about the ground game.
Yep.
When you average 8.4 yards a carry out there, I don't care who you have on the outside, you're going to win that game 9 times out of 10 because it opens up so much more for your other options as far as your receiving options, your tight end options out there. When you can run the football the way the Dallas Cowboys have been able to. And Javonte Williams, I mean, he's been toting the rock extremely well this whole season.
It's amazing what Connor O'Reilly, that is the offensive line coach. He's put together this thing where it don't matter who's in there. They got a system in place, the outside zone, the inside zone, which if you'd watched the show earlier with me and Isaiah and these guys putting it together, it worked to perfection today. These guys are playing as a unit no matter who's in there on the offensive line.
You got to love that. And that's when you talk about getting across a message to an entire offensive room group, right? Those guys have invested so much at that position, whether it's been in the form of draft picks or this year bringing in, going in and taking the best offensive line coach, considerably the best offensive line coach in college and in the NFL, and bringing them inside one room. This has been a tremendous impact on these guys, and that's why you're able to go down to your second center. That's why you're able to go down to your third guard, your second tackles. Like, that's why it doesn't matter. The production is still going to be there because the scheme and the messaging in terms of techniques and in the form is all getting across to these guys. Huge tip of the cap to all these coaches.
Now, going into this matchup, you would say Nate Thomas is at left tackle, Hakeem Adeniji is at left guard, Cooper Beebe out at center. You've got Brock Hoffman there for the second straight week. Same thing with TJ Bassett, right guard, filling in for Tyler Booker. All of that to say, you probably wouldn't have that high of an expectation. It is really impressive the way that they were able to have a balanced attack. 236 yards through the air for the Cowboys, 180 on the ground. They have rushed for 100 yards as a team in each of their first 5 games. Now, they move into week 6. You got a matchup with the Carolina Panthers. They look pretty good. Familiar face, Enrico Dowdle had a really big game in week 5 as they went up against the Miami Dolphins. Barry, when you look at this team going into week 6, where do the Cowboys need to shore things up to ensure a win against the Panthers on the road?
Defensively, keep tackling the way you've been tackling. I mean, second level, secondary, defensive line, keep wrapping up and basically minimizing these explosive plays. Offensively, that offensive line, keep gelling as a unit. Keep doing what you're doing. You gave up 1 sack today against a Jets defense that has a powerful front 7. 1 sack. You can protect your quarterback like that. You see he can make plays all over the football field. So offensively, keep protecting your quarterback. Defensively, keep tackling and keep communicating in the back end.
Where you got to take care of, first of all, of somebody who wants to get a little bit of get back against you, and that is going to be Rico Dowdle, a.k.a. Rico. All right, Rico had one heck of a game today. Where is his stat line at? 23 carries, 206 yards today for Rico.
You say how many?
2 bills?
23 carries, 206 yards. You said that Javonte had an 8-yard average today.
Yeah.
Well, Rico, who played here last year, that you chose not to re-sign, is going to play against you now after having a 9-yard average and 200 yards on the ground. So you got to stop the run, because what that's allowing them to do in Carolina is have a balanced offense. They have a number of receivers on the outside that are young bulls, okay? They are go-getters. They're down deep ball threats. So if you allow the run game to get established like Carolina was able to do today against Miami, then you're going to have a lot of play action to be concerned about.
And remember, Dallas, if there was one bugaboo for their defense in this one, it was the running attacks and the running lanes that they allowed for Breece Hall, who also finished with over 8 yards per carry. Nate, your final thoughts going into that Week 6 game?
I'm with you. Stop the run, always first and foremost. But I like this wide receiver court with Flournoy and all these guys to keep doing what they're doing. I'm talking about the backups, the Jalen Tobers of the world. Continue to do what y'all are doing. That's catch the ball and make plays.
There's a good chance that Kevontae Turpin is unavailable for the Cowboys going into next week, maybe even the week after, as the Cowboys continue their schedule in this back-to-back road trip. We leave you with some of the final stats presented by Dr. Pepper. It's a Pepper thing. 37-22, the Cowboys with over 400 yards of total offense. We'll have instant reaction from the Cowboys locker room, exclusive interviews, and a whole lot more coming your way on the First Word. And following the First Word, now with OT and Cowboys Game Night, our post-game coverage rolls on DallasCowboys.com. This has been the First Word presented by Dr. Pepper. The Cowboys win it, and they improve to 2-2-1.